Hey doing everyone, welcome back. You might be able to see Molly right here, the dog. Um, she's a pretty good dog. She unfortunately is old and not in good health, so we don't know how much longer she's going to be with us. She's 15 years old, but she's a good dog. Anyway, I didn't come to talk about her. I just happened to notice that she was there. Um, Basically, this video is to explain a little bit about myself and who I am and how I came to some of the perspectives that I came to, because this channel has grown fivefold over just the last few days in terms of subscribers. And I want to thank everybody for that. I actually did a video thanking everybody for that. Um, you know, I've uh, the video that caused that to explode was one that was, let's just say, not critical of trans people because of the actions of one. Alright? Because one person is not indicative of an entire community. If that were the case, people who look like me, oh boy, we are a major problem, aren't we? Excuse me. Anyway, who am I, where did I come from, and how did I get to the perspective that I've reached? Alright, I'm just some guy born and raised in eastern Iowa. That's where I live now, is in eastern Iowa. And, you know, at the time, it was a very white community. It has since become more diverse. Still predominantly white, but it's not unusual to see other people. It's actually very common to see people who are not white these days. All right? Very common. And that's a good thing, I think. A few reasons why I don't hate people for who they are. First and foremost, when I was young, high school age, early 90s, the Ku Klux Klan was active and recruiting in my area, holding rallies in my area. And my dad, he's been gone for about 11 and a half years now. But my dad went to those Klan rallies. He went. But the reason he went was not because he supported them, it was because he opposed them. I went to some as well. And we stood there in opposition, holding up signs against them, and my dad actually had a string of cowbells, and whenever someone would try to speak, he would clang those cowbells to try to drown them out. You know why? Because we don't want that kind of hatred in our community. I mean, we support their First Amendment right, but we also support our own First Amendment right to tell them that we don't want them around, and that we will not tolerate intolerance. The tolerance paradox. So that's where that was the major event that led to my hatred of racism. But when I was in grade school, there was one girl who was black that was in my class, and okay, she was another kid in the class who just happened to have a different skin tone. And everybody liked her. Why? Because she was a decent person. Probably still is, I would assume, because, well, I haven't seen her in probably about 30 years. But, yeah, she was a good person then, too. So why wouldn't she still be, right? Actually, I guess I did run into her once or twice within the past decade or so. But, yeah, I mean, she's a good person. Now, what else influenced who I am and how I got to where I am? Well, I grew up, maybe if you want to call it that, got married, had a couple kids, and I didn't want my kids to be little jerks, so I held on to the values that I had, even though it was more right-leaning, but still in opposition to racism and bigotry, or so I thought, because at the time I actually was a bit homophobic, and did I say homophobic? Homophonic? I thought homophobic. I don't know what I said. Anyway, I distracted myself. Was a bit homophobic, and I was definitely transphobic at the time, because that was just weird, and I didn't understand it. And to be frank, I have a better understanding than I did just a couple years, or just a couple days ago, I should say, because of that video that I made that just exploded. Yeah, I mean, so I've actually learned a lot in just the last few days, even though I haven't been transphobic for a little while now. I'm always open to learning things. My grandmother once said the only wasted day is the day where you don't learn anything. And you know what? Grandma was right about that. Grandma was absolutely right. So I try to continue learning. I mean, just this morning, I was going through my comments, and I learned that not all trans people have gender dysphoria. I thought that's what being trans was. I thought gender dysphoria and trans were the same thing. I'm blanking on what the actual term was. Gender incongruence, that's what it was. But anyway, this is not a channel that is dedicated to the LGBTQ community and their issues, but I will address them, especially when there's an injustice being done to them or any other community. So anyway, after I grew up, had a couple kids, I joined the Army. Right? Now, the United States military, whatever branch you're in, is the most diverse organization in this country, I'm sure. Because we get everybody from all walks of life, every corner of the country, even from foreign countries and U.S. territories. You get every demographic. You get, you've got men, you've got women, you have gay people, you have every race, every religion. And so that helped me to understand other people better. People that I hadn't grown up near. Now, at some point during my military service, I ended up getting divorced, and many years later, I got remarried. Did it right this time, I'm convinced. And I mean, she's been very supportive of me. But yeah, I mean, I have post-traumatic stress from my military service. And it's very bad at times. So as such, I understand the importance of therapy. I go to therapy. In fact, I have an appointment as of time of recording. My appointment is tomorrow with my therapist. I see him weekly. And you know what? I make no apologies. I have no shame in admitting that. In fact, I think more people should be in therapy. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. In fact, I think we need to end the stigma around mental health. All mental health. It's something that's beyond your control. In my case, it's something that happened to me. Right? Now, granted, because of choices that I made, had I not chosen to join the Army, I wouldn't have been put in those situations. But I don't regret that choice. I don't regret that choice at all. So, used to be a Republican, actually my entire life up until the last few years, when I decided that, even though I wasn't voting Republican, I don't even want that on my voter registration. So I changed it to no party. The reason I went no party is because I disagree enough with the Democrats that I can't join them. But I cannot associate with an openly fascist party like the Republicans. So, yeah, some people are going to call me a radical leftist. Fine, whatever. I'm not. I'm more of a centrist. But to the radical right, anybody to the left of Benito Mussolini is a radical leftist. Right? If you don't agree 100% with Cheeto in charge, you, by the way, that's a play on Charles in Charge, Scott Baio, that washed up never was of an actor who never really did anything relevant, except for the show Charles in Charge, and maybe Joni Loves Chachi a little bit, but I digress. Anyway, if you don't agree 100% with Cheeto in charge, you're a radical leftist. You're a lunatic, you're all this and that and the other. Alright, I'll take that label. Fine, whatever. But, let me just say, though, that I am going to stand up for marginalized groups, and I am going to stand up for what I believe to be right. Because, like I said about the Klan rallies that I went to with my dad. Like I said about that. He took a stand. And I am also going to take a stand. You may agree with me, you may disagree with me, and that's fine. No one dictates my commentary. No one dictates my content. So, you may have suggestions for me, and that's fine. Maybe I'll take those suggestions, maybe not. I will definitely take them into consideration. But, yeah, my commentary and my content is my own. And I'm basically just here to express whatever is on my mind, whatever that may be, right? Which is why the channel is called In My Head. So, that's a little bit about me. Anyway, I'll see you next time.